Welcome, everybody, to the NFL Weekly Pick'em Show. We are Week 10. The NFL Weekly Pick'em Show was brought to you by MyBookie.ag, which I won $65 this week, Oz, so I'm happy with MyBookie.ag. And the great thing is I've already got my money, which is the best thing about them. Now, our resident gambler, Oz Davis, co-hosted a show. How you doing, Oz?
I'm doing okay. I mostly pushed at the book this weekend.
Well, see, guys, if you listen in, you know Oz is almost always the biggest loser and doesn't pick any games right. But the thing is this, he only bets the 4 he wins, so he's usually in pretty good shape.
Right, yeah. See, at the book, I don't have to bet all 16, 13, 14, whatever. But this week, mostly I pushed because I had the Raiders -3 and a lot of stuff. So they just pushed me all over the place. So wasn't profitable, but I didn't lose money.
Yeah, and we can't just introduce one biggest winner of the week. We actually had 3 tied for first. That was myself, Matt Andrews-Scavage, who can't make it tonight. He did send his picks in, and Brian Schmidt. How you doing, Schmitty?
Man, I am doing so good. I am so immersed in my own football world that I almost forgot about there's actually other football going on. So, doing good.
All right, and of course, there was a conundrum, all right? Oz Davis didn't send me his picks, so he didn't get any right. Is he the biggest loser, or would it be the next guy? So I've decided we're going to go with the next guy because he gave me a lot of crap last week. He hurt my feelings a few times. Help us welcome to the show, Alex Golden.
Hey, everybody. How about them Colts?
How about them? Unfortunately for you, you didn't pick them.
Hey, you know what? Now you can't say the Bengals have more wins than the Colts anymore. This is great.
Yeah, it's
now
awesome. But you know what? Bengals take tiebreakers because they beat the Colts.
Here we go.
And to get another win, you're going to have somebody with a quarterback get hurt. Now, for the Bengals, they're going to need somebody's defensive line to entirely get hurt. So they may end up tied at 3 wins, but if they do, we take the tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's great that you take the tiebreaker. Now you get a worse draft pick. Nice job.
I don't care. Like the Bengals are going to do something with a draft pick. Hell, like the Colts are going to do something with a draft pick. You know, the Colts are like the Bengals, aren't they, Alex? If they pick somebody that's really good and he looks good, he almost immediately gets hurt.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's a lot of speculation going around here right now in Indianapolis that Andrew Luck might never play again, and that's from people on the radio here at Indianapolis 1070 The Fan talking about that. I don't know how much of that's true. There's a lot of rumors going around.
But yet Irsay was quoted today as saying the only injury is in his head.
Yeah, but Irsay was probably drunk when he said that.
Actually, they're pulling quotes from Irsay that were like weeks ago. That's one of the things that I read today too. Is some of the stuff they're pulling is stuff he said weeks ago. So I don't know about that last one he said, but I know there was some stuff about him saying stuff a couple weeks ago, and that's why he was upset. And I think there's rumors that Luck might have re-injured his shoulder during the rehab when he was, I guess on the field practicing when they said he was clear to come back and throw the football, whatever. There's rumors that he might have torn something again during that process. So, yeah, there's a lot of question marks here in Indianapolis for sure.
And there's question marks in Houston, which I know Oz Davis has been a big supporter of the Texans, said they were going to go to, the Super Bowl or the championship game. Do you see any way they can dig themselves out of this hole with Watson going too?
No.
So you were wrong again, just like last year.
Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. Because
well, you were. You said they would be a surprise team and go to the AFC Championship game.
Well, they were a surprise team for a while.
Well, they were 3-4, weren't they? Now they're 3-5.
Yep. Yeah.
So what we can expect is next year's will be really good.
Oh, hopefully. Well, I don't know.
It'll be like the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's see about the extent of that, that injury to Deshaun Watson. I mean, this weird, non-contact injury. I mean, we'll see what comes of that. I mean, God, the Texans, talk about your hard luck teams. I mean, this was supposed to be the year, and then they lose 2 of their all-stars on the defense. Then they lose Deshaun Watson within 24 hours of winning the Astros winning the World Series. I mean, it's nutty season for the Texans. Too bad.
At least the Astros won the World Series. All my teams.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Brian Schmidt, and my question is this. I watched the Jaguars bludgeon the Bengals. You watched the Jaguars bludgeon the Steelers. Are the Jaguars a contender for a possible deep run in the playoffs?
It's funny because I think in my head I want to say no. They've never been there before. We've seen this before. Teams that have these new young teams that do this. They look good in regular season. They get to the playoffs, and all of a sudden they're one and done. However, watching this team just have that something. It's almost like an attitude. They just almost like they've got this mindset that's maybe a year or two ahead of where they should be. I think it's still hard to say, but I'll tell you, they impress me. The more that I've watched them, they impress me.
And Brian, the big thing is this: the AFC now, or South now, with Luck out, Watson out. I mean, and Tennessee, they may be 5-3, but they're not playing good football yet. That's open, and if you look at the rest of the AFC, there's nobody else that really stands out other than Belichick and Brady. And really, they haven't looked as good as they have. The Steelers look good, but they haven't looked as good as what they have in the past. So I think it's wide open.
Yeah, it's very wide open for a team to come in and take this. But the thing about Pittsburgh and the thing about New England is, especially New England, is when it gets to playoff time, they find a way to they turn it up a notch. They go to a different level. And New England, as you know, and I say bad because in relative terms, I mean, New England is, not a bad team, but not what we've expected. But at the same time, when playoff time comes, they're going to turn it up to another level.
Yeah, and if
that's
we talk
where.
Yeah, I have another question for you guys, and that would be this. Who is your biggest surprise team this year, Brian?
I mean, you got, Jacksonville.
Surprise in a good way.
Surprise in a good way. I mean, Jacksonville certainly has been a surprise. And not the fact that we knew they'd be better, but we didn't know they'd be this. I think Jacksonville's surprised. We poo-pooed the Jets, but nobody expects them to be where they're at right now. I think you can look at a lot of
my preseason predictions. I thought they'd win one game tops, possibly 0-16.
Yeah, I mean
they're my biggest surprise. And Todd Bowles, could be the coach of the year right now.
Yeah, and the thing about the Jets is, I know when I picked them last year, I mean, there were, I'm sure people that thought, no way, but they're another team that you don't really think of to win games, to be very good, and then you look at it, they're winning games. They do it in strange ways. They find ways to win. They've been a really pleasant surprise. Jacksonville's been a pleasant surprise. It's been an interesting NFL year, to say the least. All right,
Oz, same question.
Guys, the biggest surprise in the NFL has been the Rams.
No way.
I mean, I may be biased here, but
there was somebody to pick the Rams to go to the NFC Championship game on the preseason pick'em show.
Okay. Some of us are geniuses, Mike, but I mean, the truth is that a lot of folks were looking at these guys to be contending with the 49ers for the cellar. A lot of folks had given up on Gurley, saying stuff like Donald is overrated. Plus, he holds out until well into the season. People were expecting nothing from these guys, and these guys are going to go in as the number 3 seed in the NFC, it looks like right now. I mean, I see a few losses coming for them before the end of the season. But, Mike, did you really have them winning like 12, 11 games?
I believe if you listen to my show with Randy Cross, I had them at 11.
11? Yeah, okay. Good call. Good call.
And if you remember, I called you before I even did the show and told you I thought the Rams were going to win the division.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm surprised.
Because I thought Todd Gurley was that good, and they added a center, they added a left tackle, and then later on even they added even more by getting Sammy Watkins and Edwards from the Bills. And I mean, that's the thing that I've really noticed. The Eagles and the Rams are teams that went out and filled what they needed. Teams like the Bengals and Giants, who looked like playoff contenders, did nothing. They stayed pat with a bad offensive line on both teams and actually lost guys from their offensive lines. And no matter how much offensive weaponry you add, it doesn't matter if you can't protect your quarterback. Alex, same question.
Yeah, I think the team I've been most surprised with is the Saints, and not just because they're actually, winning football games, but the way they're winning them. Their defense has just been pretty phenomenal recently, and this, I think it's 6-game winning streak they're on now after losing the first 2 games. I mean, this team is looking like a threat in the NFC, and other than that, I think the only other team that I'm impressed with is the Vikings, especially with their third-string quarterback now that they're 6-2. Just a team that you have to watch out though for, because their schedule does get tougher, and Detroit's schedule is a lot lighter. So Detroit could end up winning that division, but it's still the Vikings. The fact that they're 6-2 with a third-string quarterback, and the Saints, they're 6-2 as well. Just 2 teams I've been impressed with.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and we'll start picking the games. Game number 1, Thursday night, Schmitty. The Seattle Seahawks are favored by 6 at Arizona. Give me your points pick and then your straight-up pick.
Oh, man. What's the points on this?
-6.
6.
Seattle or Arizona?
For Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. Okay. I'm going to take Arizona and the points, but I'm going to go with Arizona points. I'm going to go with Arizona to win.
Arizona to win. That's an Oz pick.
I'm going to go with another Thursday upset. I think you're going to feed they're going to feed the ball to Peterson. He's looking like Peterson always has, and Seattle just has not impressed. They just there's just something missing. And I just think Arizona is going to pound the ball with Peterson, and they're going to do enough to win this game. I'm going to go with them as an upset.
All right, I think you're nuts. I'm going to go with Arizona or Seattle, and I'm going to give the points for the simple fact that with Drew Stanton, I think that you're going to have a hard time running the ball because with Seattle's defense, I think they're just put a bunch of guys in the box and tee off on them. Oz?
Yeah, see, the thing is, Peterson, 37 carries last week. He had, 15 in the first quarter alone. Pretty impressive. His first game that he played for the Cardinals, pretty impressive. But he didn't smoke the Rams. Yeah, he didn't look great against the Rams. And I don't think the Seahawks are going to be too impressed with the guy either. I don't expect a lot from Peterson this game. I expect the Seahawks to cover this thing. And the real key stat for the Seahawks and something to watch going forward this year is their inefficiency in the red zone. They are a bottom 10 team. They're only 50% scoring inside the red zone this year. But nevertheless, I'll take the Seahawks to win by more than a touchdown.
All right, Alex?
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with Oz and Mike here. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks to win. The Cardinals are terrible, and they only beat a bad team last week, even though I did pick the 49ers just to be dumb. But yeah, no, I'm going to pick the Seahawks here to win the game, and I'm going to give the points like you did.
All right, the next game we'll start off with Alex. We're Minnesota -1.5 at Washington.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Man, if I had to pick off the top of my head, I think this is a game Minnesota has to win because, like I said earlier in the show, they have to win these games. But Washington, they look pretty impressive in Seattle, winning 17-14. So I'm going to go with my gut here, and I'm going to pick the Redskins to win this. But, yeah, what was the points on that again?
1.5.
In favor of who?
In favor of Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm not taking those points. I'm giving them.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Alex also. Definitely going with Washington here. I think the point spread, Oz, is a perfect thing to go to mybookie.ag and take that 1.5 in the Skins at home. What do you think?
Are you kidding? Of course. And if you want to put the Vikings in the teaser for 6 extra points, you can get the Vikings plus 4.5. That's a great pick. I don't understand this line at all. Washington, they pulled off this win last week, but their weakness was exactly what we thought. 6 sacks taken by Cousins in this game, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that from the Vikings. And I also hope that even though Bridgewater is being activated this week, I hope that Case Keenum continues to start, and then the Rams destroy him when they meet in a couple of weeks. But, yeah, I'm going to Vikings minus the 1.5.
All right, just drop the violence on the show. Schmitty?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with all you, without a doubt. So I'll go with that.
All right, Oz, the Green Bay Packers are 5-point underdogs. Who would have thought that at the start of the year at the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I don't think that the Vikings are in must-win situation at all. I think they got a leg up against every other team in their division right now. I think this is a must-win game for the Packers and the Bears. I think that the lack of Aaron Rodgers really exposes the fact that the Packers really have almost no offense. And I like what the Chicago defense has been doing lately. I'll take Chicago minus the points. I think they'll win by more than a touchdown at home. Sure, why not?
All right, Alex, since Oz took a shot at you, I'll let you go next.
Yeah, I don't really care. I wasn't even paying attention. I was doing something.
Yeah, me neither. I don't even remember what he said.
Yeah, it's kind of in one ear out the other, right?
Yeah, anyway, it's Oz. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the Packers, their whole team is centered around Aaron Rodgers. And as much as, their backup quarterback is decent, I just don't trust him at all, especially with Rodgers out. So, yeah, give me the Bears. What's the points on this one?
5.
5 in favor of the Bears or Packers?
5 for the Bears. Bears are favored by 5.
Woo. Don't take my I don't have a really good guess on this game, so I wouldn't take my gambling advice on this one, let alone most of these games. But, yeah, so I'll pick the Bears in a tight one by 3. But, yeah, I just don't think the Packers have enough.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears also. I think Brett Hundley is a decent quarterback, like you said. I think he could be really good someday. But the Packers, and all Packer fans would freak out when I'd say this the last year or two, I just think their roster as a whole is not very strong, and I think that gets proven when Aaron Rodgers is not there, Schmitty.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be the Bears. Take the Bears to win, take the Bears to point. This is a great example of, and you can really almost say the same thing with Pittsburgh as well. This is a great example without the quarterback, just how far down they go. Now, with Pittsburgh, they've gotten better defensively, but
Pittsburgh, they got Le'Veon Bell, and they got a really good offensive line. And Green Bay's got a couple injuries on the offensive line, and they don't have Le'Veon Bell.
Correct.
And they've got a wide receiver at running back.
It's still the same situation that when you take the quarterback away, just where that drop-off comes. Now, like I said, Pittsburgh is a little bit better because they have Bell. They have a better defense. But Green Bay, I mean, everything was centered around Rodgers, and that gave them that opportunity to win 9, 10, maybe 11 games. You take him out, and they can't even sniff it right now. I don't know if they'll win a game the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's like last year they were 4-6 with Aaron Rodgers, and then they won their last 6, but none of those games were against teams, I don't think, with winning records except for at the end of the year against Detroit.
Right, and if you remember, Rodgers was playing out of his mind just to do that. If you remember in that time span, it wasn't like they were just blowing people out. I mean, they were winning close games at the end, because Rodgers was the guy that was doing all this.
And the same thing was happening this year, if you look at it, Brian. I mean, the Bengals had them by 21-7 at halftime or something, and then Rodgers brought them back and won the game. If Rodgers isn't there, they don't win that game.
Exactly. So it's, like I said, I don't know if they'll win another game this year. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think they play the 49ers, do they?
I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
I miss Matt. All right, next game, Pittsburgh -10 at Indianapolis. Well, I'm going to take a huge leap here because that's a lot of points. I'm going to take Pittsburgh, and I'm going to give the points. Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh points, win, play, show. Now, I will say this, and I'm just going to give some of Colts people out there a little bit of hope. Pittsburgh is not very good coming out of bye weeks.
They haven't been very good on the road this year either. They proved that in Chicago.
Right. So, but this has historically been one of those games where Pittsburgh struggles. Now, fortunately for them, they have in Indy, which you're going to have to struggle pretty bad not to win this game. So, take Pittsburgh.
All right, Alex, you want to pick this game? And just remember, Schmidt said your team sucked.
That's fine. I agree with him. They're not good. I mean, I told you that last week too. But no, the thing is, I've seen the Steelers play the Colts the last 2 years in Pittsburgh, and they have dominated the Colts. And so, I expect the Colts to be a little bit, angry about those two losses and the way they got blown out, and thinking that they have a chance at home to put up a better fight. So, 10 points, I mean, that's not unrealistic. Like, I think the Steelers are going to win this game for sure. 10 points. I think I'm going to take the points here just because I think Pittsburgh is that much better, and I think Le'Veon Bell could run all over him because the Colts' defense, as decent as I've tried to believe it could be, it's still like they tried to give away that game last week with Tom Savage, and they pretty much almost did. So, yeah, I'm going to pick the Steelers here, and I'm going to take the points too.
All right, Oz?
The defense is really bad. You want to know how bad? Here's how bad.
How bad is it?
It's extremely bad. It's so bad it's really bad. Look, it's a bottom 3 defense. It has been all season, okay? They are dead last against the run. They are 31st best, quote-unquote, against the pass. Okay, this is a bad defense. I hate this line of 10 points because, I'm sitting here trying to convince myself that Indianapolis could keep it close, but how are they going to stop Bill? How are they going to stop these weapons? I will take the Steelers to win. I will take minus the 10, and I will definitely take the over on 44 points because I think 27-17, I think it's going to be a lot higher than that.
All righty. I guess everybody's picked that game. Next up, we've got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars were only favored by 4, Oz.
Yeah, that's not enough. There's not much of a home field advantage in Jacksonville. However, they do have the advantage of being on the East Coast.
I don't know. I think they had a little bit of a home field advantage last week. They were pretty loud.
I guess. I don't like the west to east thing. That's for sure. 4 points sounds just about right, but I'll take Jacksonville to win by 5 points.
All right, Brian?
What's the points again?
Jacksonville minus 4. Please pay attention during the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say Jacksonville with the points and Jacksonville win the game.
All right, Alex.
Yeah, well, you guys were talking about Jacksonville earlier, and I didn't chime in on anything, but I was kind of interested last week to find out that Leonard Fournette was, did not play and was kind of suspended basically for the game against the Bengals last week because he violated a team rule. And so that kind of just shows you that it doesn't matter who you are, the Jaguars are trying to change.
It shows you Tom Coughlin's there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So it's starting to show you that there is a change in that organization as, this is going to be a better football team, and we're going to be taken more seriously, and we're going to go out there with guys that want to be on this team and do things the right way. So with that being said, I'm going to pick Jacksonville to win this game, and I'm going to take the points.
All right, and we'll stay with Alex here, and this is a tough game to pick. The New York Jets are actually favored by 2.5 at Tampa Bay. Another thing that a couple months ago we'd have thought you were nuts if you would have said. We'd have thought Oz would have said it. So Jets minus 2.5 at Tampa Bay, Alex.
Who did you pick for the Chargers game? I didn't hear your pick.
Oh, Jacksonville. I wrote it down. I just didn't say it.
Okay, I figured.
But I figured everybody heard me write it down.
Right, yeah. I mean, we're all thinking with your pencil, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the Jets and the Bucks. Man, this is a tough one. The Buccaneers just need a win. They might be hungry for one, so I'll pick the Bucks just because they're at home. But I'm not touching that point spread at all.
All right, Schmitty.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Jets all the way around. Again, this is one that when we talk about surprise teams, I mean this is a really classic example of surprise good and surprise bad. Really didn't think Tampa would be like this, but I think the Jets are going to win this game and once again keep putting that nail in the coffin when it comes to everything that's going on in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jets also. I learned my lesson last week. And I just think Dirk Cutter's about to be fired. Oz?
Oh, I never learned my lesson. I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win. I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win outright. Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting this game. I'm giving all my respect to the Ivy League guy in the revenge game. Buccaneers win this game.
Yeah, but you know what? Every game Ryan Fitzpatrick plays is a revenge game because he's played for every team in the NFL. And he doesn't win every game, Oz.
Yeah, but you only get like one revenge game per team. So this is it. This is the one time he's going to get the revenge against the Jets. No, I just think it might do this offense good to have a different look, to have a different, commander behind the team. I think it might do because there's a lot of talent on this offense, and I can't understand why they've been so sluggish this year. I don't get it. So I don't know. Maybe the new blood will do him some good, but I don't think the Jets are that great. So yeah, I'll go with Space.
The next game, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are favored by 4.5 points. Oz?
Well, Mike, according to the grueling truth, guys like A.J. Green are ready to jump ship. They're ready to give up on the Bengals. So I guess I got to go with the Titans. A.J. Green isn't even going to play in this game. So I'll take the Titans to win. But
why isn't he going to play?
I thought Green was suspended for this game.
Don't you ever pay attention to NFL news before? You just worry about the CFL playoffs, aren't you? He's not.
Well, that's the thing is today I was cramming for the CFL show. So
he's not.
I thought Green was getting suspended.
No.
Oh, what was the upshot of the freak out then?
The guy was talking stuff about his wife, but I think the reason he didn't get suspended is because he did get kicked out for more than half of the game, and A.J. Green's never done remotely anything like that before.
Yeah, it was outstanding. There's a very good piece by Mike Goodpaster at The Grueling Truth about it.
That guy's a hell of a writer, by the way. I just wanted to bring that up.
Nevertheless, I think I'll take Tennessee minus the 4.5 at home.
All right, Alex, go ahead. Talk about the trashy Bengals.
Well, I mean, how dumb can you be to punch somebody with a helmet on? I mean, isn't that
I know. That's what I was thinking. Didn't that hurt? That was the hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in A.J. Green's defense, if you watch the game, he was about the only one that was willing to fight.
Well, that's how it's been all season because the Bengals just are terrible. So
I know. Luckily, they beat the Colts.
I know, right? They should have been. So, we're going to pick the Titans here, and we're going to take those points and run with them because Cincinnati is garbage.
At least they're not garbage like the Colts.
If you say it with a French accent, it's much classier.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep something classy in Cincinnati.
Le garbage.
There's nothing classy in Cincinnati, buddy. There's about as much class in Cincinnati as there is in Indianapolis, which isn't much.
A lot
They're similar to Bangkok, Thailand.
Bangkok, Thailand? You go there often, Mike?
To Bangkok? No, but I go to Thailand sometimes. Schmitty.
I can't see you people no more. I can't do you people no more. I'm done.
Okay, don't do me, man. Don't do me.
I'm done with all of you. It pains me to have to take the Titans, but I'm going to take Titans in this. I think we're much like Tampa Bay. We're seeing the nails and hopefully the coffin of Marvin Lewis, because I have more respect for Bengals and Bengals fans than I do probably Baltimore and certainly Cleveland.
And the Colts.
And the Colts. And I just feel badly that this just continues. If Marvin Lewis is on the sidelines next year in Cincinnati, if anybody buys season tickets for the Cincinnati Bengals, they're out of their mind.
I haven't bought season tickets in a long time.
I know.
Actually, 2013. They lost that playoff game, and I said, to hell with it. I ain't been back since. I did go to a preseason game because somebody gave me tickets and a parking pass. But I didn't buy nothing. I didn't let my kids buy anything because I didn't want to give money to that scumbag Mike Brown who's got his head so far up his ass he doesn't know what he's doing. All right, on that note, we're going to go ahead and check out a word from our sponsor, mybookie.ag, and we'll be back with the second half of the slate of games for Sunday and Monday after this message. All right, guys, we're back on the NFL Pick'em Show, Week 10, brought to you by mybookie.ag. That promo code was TGT50 to get a 50% cash back bonus, correct, Oz?
Yep, that's the deal.
And you can also go to thegruelingtruth.net, click on the banner, it'll take you there, too, and you can do it that way. So tell them the Grueling Truth sent you. Next game, we've got the New Orleans Saints at the Buffalo Bills. New Orleans is favored by 2.5 points. Oz, what you think?
I think this is the game of the week. Here's also what I think. The Saints have now won 6 in a row. They're 6-2. And you look at the schedule, and I don't think they're going to lose another game, including the Los Angeles Rams in Week 12. I think they're going to go – they're not going to lose another game. And I don't believe that they're a 14-2 team. So I'm just going to say that the Bills win this game. I think that the Bills are also going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be about the number 5 seed, and they're going to beat the Jaguars in the first round in Florida. So there's some bonus predictions for you. But Bills win outright. Plus
coming from the guy that picked the Texans in the AFC Championship.
Right.
All right.
I am awesome.
So after all that, you picked the Saints, right? What's the weather going to be in Buffalo? Any idea?
No, I was just going to look it up. So
all right.
Go ahead.
I'm going to do this. I'm just going to take New Orleans for the simple fact that Buffalo lost to Cincinnati. Brian?
I'm going to take New Orleans, but the thing that scares me about this game is, A, it's a road game for the Saints. B, it's in Buffalo, which I'm not sure what the weather is going to be. But
working on it. Hold on.
This game scares me for the Saints, and it scares me to pick them because it's on the road and it's in Buffalo.
And they've won 6 in a row, so you're bound to play poorly at some point.
Yeah, but I just don't know if I cannot go with them this game. I'm gonna go with the Saints in this one. I'm gonna live with that pick, even though I'm not sure I agree with it.
Okay, so the weather is not going to be outrageous. It's been in the mid-40s all week, and it looks like that will continue through Sunday. So it won't be outrageous, but it will be cold.
30 degrees colder than a dome, though. Alex, what do you think?
Okay, I just want to get this right. Did Oz just say that he thinks the Saints are going to win every single game outright, but he picked the Bills?
Yeah, well, for the rest of the way, yeah. Except for this game, they're going to win every other game.
I'm glad, because I thought you picked the Saints, so I got to change that. All right.
No. Bills. This is the last game the Saints lose this year. This is the last game the Saints lose this year.
Yeah, I was just trying to clarify that, because I thought you said Saints, Mike, and I was like, I think you picked the Bills.
Yeah, because I thought he meant they were going to win 14 straight games. I'm glad you clarified that, Alex, with your young ears and your young memory.
Well, and I was also thinking if he says they're going to win the next 14, that they're going to lose to the Bills. So that was almost like the Oz Davis jinx there. But
yeah, there is an Oz Davis jinx.
The double
Nobody
reverse
talks
jinx.
about it, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, so like I said earlier in the show, the Saints, though, their defense has been what's been winning them games, and I think defense travels on the road more than offense. So, yeah, I'm going to pick the Saints here, but I am not touching those points. I'm going to give the points. I don't know. I mean, it's 2.5, so, yeah, field goal, you might want to take them, but still that's just that's something I don't want to touch. It could be a 1-point game, honestly.
All right, the next game, the Cleveland Browns, who are in a battle. I mean, this is a must-lose game for them since they're tied with San Francisco for the number 1 pick in the draft. So we got the Cleveland Browns in a must-lose situation at the Detroit Lions. Alex?
Okay, so I'm obviously...
Oh, and Detroit's favored by 12.5.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I'm going to pick the Lions here, but if you actually look at the Browns' schedule, they started off, they lost by 3, then they get blown out, then they lose by 3 again. So every other game they're losing by 3 points, which is just crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Lions here, but I'm gonna give the points because the Browns for some reason have this streak going back and forth where they lose every other game by 3 points.
All right, interesting. Brian?
I'm gonna pick the Lions. And I'm gonna take the points with the Lions as well. I mean, I know what Alex is saying. I think that's interesting, but
but not forever. They're going to lose every other game by 3 points.
Yeah, you never know. Never say never.
I'm going to go with the fact I just think the Lions are just a much better team. They'll win this game.
Yeah, me too. Oz, you want to jump out on a limb and pick Cleveland right out?
Nah, no way. Detroit's coming off the bye on top of everything else. I'll take Detroit minus 12.5.
How are they coming off a bye? They played last night.
They just played Monday Night Football, man.
Sorry.
Pay attention.
Sorry.
Well, they had a bye from playing on Sundays, Alex.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It'll be 2 Sundays since they've played.
You're not going to be gracious enough to edit that out, huh, Mike?
No, I'm not.
No way.
Next up, we've got the Houston Texans, because that just takes a while, and I got to find where it is in the show and everything, so we'll just let it ride. Everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. The Houston Texans at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are favored by 11.5, Oz.
Yeah, some of us are more human than others. I think the Rams are going to continue winning for a little while, and they're going to continue winning strong. They'll win this by more than 11.5.
So, Oz, would you like to expound on your little comment there? Was that a shot at me? Or?
On what?
I know some of us are
what
more...
comment? Oh, no. I meant me. I mean, that was a sophomoric mistake because I remember, looking up this stuff today, and I was like, no, wait a minute. They did play this week because I didn't see that they had played on Sunday. I was looking at the scores. And then, I was thinking to myself, they're coming off the bye. And then I was like, no, they played on freaking Monday because I won money on them. How could I have forgotten that? So then I just made the stupid mistake again. So I am incredibly human tonight, Mike. Not you.
All right. I'm still mad about that 27-16 score where the Dolphins scored the touchdown at the end and went for the 2-point conversion, and I ended up losing a parlay that would have paid me like $263. I was so pissed. But, all right.
That's why they call it gambling.
Oz has got the Rams. I got the Rams. Alex, who you got?
Yeah, I've got the Rams winning this game too, but let's talk a little bit before we move on about the Texans and their, interest in Colin Kaepernick. And Bill O'Brien says Colin Kaepernick is a good football player, but he hasn't played football in a while. And then a day later, the Texans signed quarterback Josh Johnson, a 31-year-old veteran.
He hadn't played in how long?
Oh, my God. Really?
So, yeah, since 2011. So I get it, and it's so funny because of all of McNair's comments that he said, too, that made the Texans disgruntled. That would have been the biggest PR stunt ever if he would have went out there and signed Kaepernick.
Plus, they might have been able to save their season.
Well, that's the thing, too. Kaepernick's actually talented, unlike these Tom Savage-type quarterbacks that the teams are throwing out there in the league right now. And I understand it's almost like the owners are sticking together with this whole don't sign Kaepernick thing, but eventually...
If you sign him, can't you get rid of the collusion case? And if you don't, doesn't this look more like collusion?
That's true. I mean, they should sign Kaepernick. I feel like he'd be a great fit there, and he's actually talented, even though I've gone back and forth with you on Facebook about how talented he is. I don't think he's, top 20 football quarterback.
Yeah, but this is the thing. NFL. 3 or 4 years ago he was, and with the stuff that happened in San Francisco with Harbaugh and everything, I think that there was a reason why he wasn't as good as he was 3 or 4 years ago, and that biggest reason is this. Look at Eli Manning and Andy Dalton. They're quarterbacks that usually have really good seasons, but you put them behind terrible offensive lines, and they're bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to have players, or you got to have guys around you. And the thing that drives me nuts is when people say, "Well, he's not a pocket passer." Ask the Atlanta Falcons. They had a 17-0 lead, and I don't remember any big Colin Kaepernick runs in that NFC Championship game. He basically torched him with his arm.
No, that's true. Yeah, he's not terrible, not at all. I think he's worthy of a starting position.
No, but Tom Savage is.
Well, Tom Savage is terrible. I mean,
I didn't know they signed Josh Johnson.
Yeah, they did. They signed him today. So,
I feel an article coming on. Is you ready to edit?
This evening?
Not this
evening. I got
evening.
time for some beers first?
Not this evening.
Yeah, sure. Let me know.
Yeah. All right,
yeah,
Schmidt.
So,
did you pick the game yet?
I don't think I did. I'll pick the Rams and I'll take the points.
All right, Schmidt.
Yeah, first thing to go back to, Mike, don't let it fool you. That Oz was taking a shot at you. He just tried to cover it up to make it look like.
I let it go because I didn't want to deal with his pettiness.
Yeah, he's kind of sneaky that way. But I am going to take the Rams, win, place, and show. This Rams team is actually, kind of fun to watch. I mean, as much as NFL at times.
Unless you're a New York Giants fan.
Exactly. But this is a good team to watch, and they're a good football team. And I really feel like they're just going this is going to be an interesting game to watch. I guess I don't know. Interesting in the fact that I just think the Rams are a pretty damn good team. So go with the Rams.
Yeah, I want Rams too, and they may have back-to-back 50-point games before this weekend's over. Next game, Schmitty, Dallas at Atlanta. Atlanta favored by 3.
Oh, I'm going to go with go with Dallas. Again, so much of this is the Elliott playing or not playing. I guess he's playing. Who knows? But I'll go with Dallas on the road.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dallas too. I like Dak Prescott. Not a big fan of Jason Garrett as a coach. But right now, Atlanta looks completely different than last year, and I don't think that this is necessarily an offensive coordinator problem. I just think that almost every guy we interview on the Legends show, 90% of them all say Super Bowl hangover is a real thing. And it looks like that. I mean, you got to remember, Atlanta was up 28-3, thought they had the Super Bowl won, and the next thing you know, they have the biggest collapse in NFL history. I think that's going to be hard to overcome this year and maybe even next year. What do you think, Oz?
Well, the problem with a supposition like that is, and I'm not saying that you guys aren't in the know, but it's tough to prove. Now here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Falcons being 1-4 in the last 6 weeks and averaging 60.5 points in those games. I mean, this was a team that was known for a relentless offense last year. Now they barely get out of the first quarter.
Yeah, but to me, this is kind of the analogy, and Schmidt will like this, but it's a boxer who always knocks Mike Tyson always knocked everybody out until he didn't. And when he got beat, he was never the same.
Right. Well, I mean, okay. I think that as fans, we like to try and point the finger and try and find a tangible reason. I don't know. I don't know the hangover factor. But all I know
put it like this.
These guys aren't
I still think this. I think the Cincinnati Bengals have been hungover for 2 years since the Pittsburgh wildcard loss, and I don't think they can ever change that until they have a new coach. Because I think when something like that happens, it can be so devastating. It's really hard to come back from.
Well, all those devastating losses to the Patriots never killed off the Ravens. They stick around forever.
It's the Patriots.
In any
this
case,
is the thing. But the thing is this: the Patriots had won Super Bowls before that. If you look at the Bengals and the Falcons couldn't get out of their own way to win a playoff game. The Falcons have never won a Super Bowl. I mean, that was it. That was penultimate. And this is the thing: Matt Ryan, great quarterback. He's not Tom Brady. Tom Quinn or Bob, whatever the hell his name is. I didn't forget his first name. Is not Bill Belichick.
I was talking about the Ravens. You know, the Patriots have eliminated them from the playoffs or from the playoffs from contending 3 or 4 times in the past 7 or 8 years, and in ugly fashion. But the Ravens keep sticking around like a bad penny. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, but the Ravens are coached by John Harbaugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but Dan Quinn is not John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, I think, is the closest thing in the NFL to Bill Belichick. And
we loved Dan Quinn last year. We loved him last year. We loved Dan Quinn last year.
I did. He was a hell of a coach until he wasn't. That Super Bowl, you do not snap the ball with 18 to 20 seconds on the clock for the fourth quarter when you're up by 25 points.
Sure. Yep. I mean, you can't argue that. But in any case, I've got the Cowboys in this game. I have no idea why they're underdogs.
But hell, I forgot what game we were picking.
Cowboys +3 at Atlanta.
All right, Alex.
Well, here's the question: is Ezekiel Elliott going to play this game, or is he still out?
I'm just assuming he's playing from here on out until he's not.
Yeah, because it's Tuesday night, so tomorrow morning he'll be suspended, and then Friday he'll be reinstated. So, it's just a recurring thing, and it's really getting freaking annoying. I'm tired of reading about it. It's like, get a new storyline. This is just dumb. But anyway, the crazy thing is I think. Isn't the home team always given 3 points? So basically,
so it's really a pick-em game.
Yeah. So run with it if you can. I'm going to pick the Cowboys here. I don't trust the Falcons at all. And if Ezekiel Elliott is playing, which I'm sure he will be, the Cowboys are just too good on the trenches, and the Falcons have just struggled this year. So give me the Cowboys.
All right. The next game is where I really miss Matt Andrews-Scavage. The New York Football Giants minus a point. At the San Francisco 49ers, Brian.
Oh, my goodness. I miss Matt.
Hey, this is a tough game to pick, though. You got to give it that.
It is.
Those teams are so bad. And who would have thought, the 49ers were almost a favorite in this game.
Almost. But I don't believe that the 49ers will win this game. I don't believe they'll win any game. You can't go to 49ers in any game, so take them off the list.
All right. Well, real quick, I'm going to try to pull up Matt Andrews-Scavage picks he sent me just so we can see if he picked him or not. I don't know what he did with these picks. Maybe he texted them to me. All right. You got the Giants, right, Schmidt?
I got the Giants.
Alex?
Well, didn't the Giants coach just say that every starting position was up for grabs, even Eli Manning's? So I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
It is.
And I don't know.
Don't make this mistake again, Alex. Don't do it.
I know.
Don't do it.
But I'm
know when to say when.
Because that way, I don't have anything to lose. I'm 47 games down. What do I have to lose? So
you could be 50. Actually, at this last week, I think technically you are 50 games behind.
Yeah, so I started 7 weeks late. It doesn't matter what I pick anyway, so yeah.
It wasn't 7 weeks late, buddy, all right?
It's about 5
We're only at week 10 now, and you've been here for about 5, so.
Yeah, so 5
You should be
late.
gaining, but you've fallen further behind.
Oh, it's okay. It doesn't matter right now because I don't have to really worry about my standings because I'm already so far behind. So why not? I'll go with the 49ers once again, and I'm going to give the points.
All righty, Oz.
The point. Yeah.
Give the point. Hope it's a tie. Well, here's my true confession. Yes, I did bet on San Francisco last week. But as part of a teaser, I got 8.5 points, and they lost by 10. Okay? I'm not going to bet on them at the sportsbook this week, but I will pick them here. I'm going to take the 49ers. Sure.
Attaboy odds.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll tell you. You get the Giants going from the East Coast to the West Coast. You got both teams have no offensive line. Both teams have no defense. Let's see.
Giants are awful.
Who's starting a quarterback for the 49ers now?
It's oh God. It's he's
that white kid from Iowa.
yeah, exactly. I can't remember the dude's name. He's got
he's terrible. So I'm going with Eli Manning, and I don't know why, but I mean, when is Garoppolo going to play?
It's a very good question. There's all kinds of weird rumors in San Francisco.
Hey, it's CJ Beathard.
Beathard.
That's who that white boy is. All right.
Yeah.
All right, the next game, we've got the New England Patriots, -7.5 at Denver. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to pick the Patriots. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I'm also going to go out on a limb and pick the Patriots. That's kind of no-brainer there.
All right, Alex?
Okay, so I'm going to pick the Patriots here, but let's just talk about these Broncos. I mean, they don't have any quarterback option right now between Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, and Trevor Siemian. I feel like at this point with the Broncos defense, Tim Tebow could come back and do a better job than they.
Well, I would say this in Trevor Siemian's defense, he was playing pretty good until his left tackle went down, and then everything's kind of fallen apart since.
Man, I don't know. I'm just trying to give some Tim Tebow.
What about Colin Kaepernick? He could play there.
Yeah, what about Kaepernick? I mean, but he needs to go to the Texans because he needs to be on a team that actually has a chance to do something in the playoffs this year. Because
it would make it more enjoyable to watch him play, especially if he did good.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, you want to root for a guy like that. So, I'm going to pick the Patriots. I'm going to take the points. But, I would like to see Tim Tebow back out there again for the Broncos. Tebow 316, hashtag that.
Yeah, but he's playing baseball right now.
Who cares? He's better at football than those three quarterbacks. Brock Osweiler, seriously?
Yeah, I'll give you he's better than probably Brock Osweiler, but there's not too many starting quarterbacks he's better than, Alex.
I don't know.
But you know what? I'd take a team with Colin Kaepernick starting and Tim Tebow backing up, and then I would get a lot of attention at my press conferences.
That'd be really smart. Maybe
awesome.
the Bengals could do that.
Oh, no, the Bengals, you just said one thing that rules out the Bengals doing that. You said that would be really smart.
They're probably trying to get Johnny Manziel still, right?
Well, they're trying to get Johnny Manziel to play wide receiver.
Manziel. Oh my
the only way the Bengals could be helped by any player in the world would be if they're a freaking offensive lineman that can kick step.
Yeah,
and that
their guys don't punch players with helmets on.
Whatever. A lot of guys have done that. I like it.
It's not like it's.
There's nothing wrong with a good fight.
No, but at least take your helmet off. Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan knew how to fight. This was just stupid.
No, it's because A.J. Green's a tough son of a bitch, and he don't need to get a helmet off somebody to break their jaw.
He was just trying to break his hand so he could be out for the season so he wouldn't have to be coached by Marvin.
You bet your ass he was.
That was my thought.
No, I don't think so because he's got, if he gets 1,000 receiving yards, he gets a big bonus. Yeah, and if he gets hurt and he comes back and is completely healthy at the end of the year, they still won't let him play because they won't want him to get the bonus like they did last year. But there's nothing wrong with a little fighting in football. Am I right?
I saw quite a bit of fights.
Fighting's good for you. You know what? If people got in fights the way they used to back in the 20s and the 30s, you wouldn't have all the shootings because everybody's got all this pent-up emotion and you're not allowed to hurt somebody's feelings. It just, sometimes if you just allow somebody to just go kick somebody's ass, I think it relieves a lot of tension.
There you go. Finally, somebody said it.
Yeah. I can tell you this. I was mad at him at the time because I thought it hurt their chances to win the game. But, I've coached some defensive football before, and I don't ever remember getting mad at one of my players for getting in a fight. You ever remember getting mad at somebody for getting in a fight, Schmidt?
No, actually, there have been a few times where we kind of encouraged it.
Yeah, I always do. There's nothing wrong with a 15-yard penalty, as long as it's not on 3rd and long or 4th and long, and as long as you win the fight. I remember we had somebody when we played in played against Lexington, if you remember, Schmidt, who took his helmet off and went after the other team's bench swinging it at him. And we defended him until he didn't even get a fine or suspended.
Yeah, I did good with that one.
Yeah, so
that was a whole lot
this is the thing. Sometimes you need to smack somebody. You just got to pick the right time. But let's get off that because that makes people sound violent that really aren't. I'm a sweetheart. Oz, New England at Denver.
What, I'm not a violent person, am I? Let's
Probably
see.
not. You're a liberal Hillary Clinton lover from California.
No, I deny that last bit for sure.
Still hoping she wins the election.
Oh, yeah.
No, he wrote it.
Well, this game I thought was interesting because I was looking at this thing and I was just thinking about how we might have, predicted this thing at different points in the season. At different points in the season, the Patriots have looked great. The Broncos
and the Broncos looked good the first 3 or 4 weeks.
Sure, and then they've looked not so good, and now they look good, and now they're imperfect, and whatever. So I'm just going to split the difference. I'm going to say the Patriots win this game, but I'll take the Broncos plus the 7.5.
All right, the final game of the night is very interesting because this will tell you how bad the NFL is. The Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers have winning records, don't they? No, they don't. Is Miami?
They're 4-4.
They're 4-4.
So, hey, I'm a Cincinnati Bengal fan. Dude, 4-4 is a winning record.
It's a moral winning record.
You're not losing, you're not winning.
Yeah, they're not losing, they're not winning. It's hell. In Cincinnati, you keep a coach for 17 years, they can do that. But I'm going to start this off, and I'm going to pick Carolina just because I don't think Cam Newton's that good, but I know Jay Cutler's not. How about you, Alex?
Yeah, you bring up a good point there. Trying to run an offense through Jay Cutler just doesn't make sense. And who did they play last? They played the Raiders on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Dolphins didn't look terrible. I don't understand why the Dolphins are getting 2 nationally televised games back to back. That's just how bad the NFL is. So,
they were a playoff team last year, and nobody knew that they were going to lose a quarterback because you remember Tannehill waited until the last minute to do the surgery.
Or they were going to trade their best offensive player for nobody. So,
no, they didn't. They didn't trade Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, exactly. They still got Landry.
Jarvis Landry's their best offensive player. Jay Ajayi played, 3 games last year where he gained half his yards against bad teams.
That was a fantasy darling. That's why Ajayi has a good play.
Now, I imagine he'll all of a sudden look really good, though, playing with the Philadelphia Eagles. And he'll look good all the time.
Yeah,
but I do like Jay Ajayi. I just think Jarvis Landry's the best offensive player on the Dolphins.
No, that's a fair point. I kind of forgot about Landry just because when you have Jay Cutler throwing you the football, you don't really get as much attention. So anyway,
Well, Jarvis Landry is no Paul Warfield, but
yeah, no, I mean he's still decent though. But yeah, I'll pick the Panthers. But I'm actually going to give the points. I don't want to touch this with 9-point favorites for Carolina. Nah, I think it'll be closer than that.
Yeah, because you never know when they're only going to score 10 and win the game 10-3.
Exactly.
All right, Brian.
As I've been listening to everybody's diatribe, trying to figure out who I wanted to pick for this game. I still have no idea who I want to pick for this game because this is terrible.
Do you want us to come back to you, or you just want to pass?
Tell you what, why don't you come back to me?
I'll come back. I know what you want to do. You want to see what Oz the Greek Davis picks.
Exactly.
Oz, could you pontificate on this game a little bit for us?
Yeah, I'll pontificate really quickly. I like what you guys have been saying. I think that the Panthers will win this game. They'll look bad doing it. This will probably be a baseball score. I like the 10-3 idea. So you might as well go Carolina to win, Miami plus the points, and take the under whatever it is. I think it's really low. I think it's like 38, but still take the under.
Damn, that's a low under. Schmitty?
It's low.
All right. I am going to begrudgingly agree. I'll take the Panthers. Take Dolphins with the points. If there was ever a game that I just don't care about and just can't get a feeling for it, this is one of them. This is terrible. This should be a Sunday 1:00 game that nobody cares about.
No, it should be a Sunday 9 o'clock game on the East Coast in London.
Yes, exactly.
That would be perfect.
And then I'll wake up at 10:30 and watch the second half, maybe.
No, you don't even turn it on. Don't even waste your time watching it.
Oh, I'll flip it on because we picked it, and I want to see if I won or not.
You can just check the box score tomorrow morning.
Well, I just don't like games in London because I can't watch the red zone during commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't even watch football games. I just watch the red zone. Unless the Bengals are on, because the Bengals are like the greatest team ever.
Yeah, I'm laughing, right?
Is that the Pittsburgh Steelers fan laughing? Feeling all big with these 5 Super Bowl championships?
Yeah, feeling pretty good right now.
I know. So, I mean, the question is, guys, Schmidt was alert. He was confident. He was awake. He was, vibrant at the start of the show. And as we've gone on, he has slowly dropped off.
Slowly? Yes, I have.
So, is this Jack and Coke?
No, this is called being really, really tired. If I had Jack and Coke in me right now, we would hear me snoring. So.
Well, melatonin was my second guess. So.
No, that won't work.
Yeah, that shit don't work for me either.
Yeah.
But all right, we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up. I know everybody is probably upset that we're going to go ahead and get off the air this quickly. But final words, Alex?
No, not really much of anything but to say, except that the Bengals suck.
Okay. Brian, do you think maybe you could add some intelligence to the show after that moronic statement?
Always make sure your junk doesn't get caught in your zipper.
Yeah, I know. That's really a good point. Oz, would you like to pontificate? Do you agree, or?
Damn, okay, all right. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm just gonna take the high road because all I wanted to say is, hey, listen to Alex's basketball shows. Listen to the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast. CFL playoffs.
And while you're doing it, don't zip your wiener up in your pants.
Yeah, etc. Yeah, and don't listen to the Wiener podcast. That's a terrible podcast.
All right.
But what I said was intelligent, and it was also helpful to people.
Yeah, because most people don't know that you can't zip it up and it'll hurt.
Exactly. So I feel like I've done a public service to all of our listeners. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, we ought to do a public service announcement with you reading something that Oz writes in a text, explaining to people why it is dangerous to do that. Just because I know that I think there were like 32,000 deaths from that last year in this country.
32,000? What,
yeah.
People are bleeding out or what?
Yeah, they were bleeding out. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, because let's face it, if you called a paramedic and it's a dude, I mean, come on, he's going to let you bleed out. Am I right, Brian?
Yeah, and see, here's the other thing with this. Not only were there 32,000 deaths, there was another 50,000 horrific injuries where people were pretty much left with nothing.
They lost the balls, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost everything.
No, I don't see why you guys.
Everything.
I don't see why you guys are concerned. This is just lessening the competition for the rest of us.
Well, because I care about the human race and people in general, and I feel like by giving this announcement, if I can save one person from doing
something
like
one
this.
Pair of testicles. It's worth it, Schmitty.
See, there you go. So I feel like what I've just done here, this whole show, I've now made this whole show extremely relevant because I've given the gift of life.
Hashtag the Zipper Show. Don't lose your head when you're zipping up.
There you go.
All right. Now, Schmitty, you need to start going to church more. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up. I want to remind everybody to go to mybookie.ag to bet on some games. The promo code is TGT50. You can also click on our website banner, which, of course, is mybookie.ag. Make sure you check. Me and Schmitty will be back with Bill Searcy, former Alabama Crimson Tide offensive lineman, to do our college football pick'em show tomorrow night, so make sure you check that out. Me and Schmitty will also be back with Oz Davis and Robert Drummond, four-time Grey Cup champion, as we preview the upcoming divisional semifinal playoffs in the CFL. Make sure you check out all of our boxing shows. The Inside Boxing Weekly show will be coming up. You can get it tomorrow. Also, the Ringside Boxing show. Last week, the guest was Deontay Wilder, heavyweight champion of the world, so make sure you check that out. So there's a lot of things to check out if you go to www.thegruelingtruth.net. So, for not Matt Andrews-Scavage because he wasn't here, and Matt, if you're listening, your team sucks and they still haven't won a game, and it's November. All right, and for Alex Golden also, whose team is complete trash, Brian Schmidt. You can't talk when I'm doing, and now I got to start this over. Go Colts. Where are they going? They're going to get their ass kicked by Brian Schmidt's Pittsburgh Steelers. So for Brian Schmidt and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I'm cheering for this week so they can brutalize the Indianapolis Colts, and for Oz Davis, whose Rams I did pick to go to the NFC Championship game this year, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.